Hare Krishna and welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita session. We concluded or will be concluding today chapter 4 verses and we'll begin with the verses of chapter 5 in the same chronological order. So topic for today's discussion is enjoying versus mentality to enjoy. And we'll see the difference. This just a word jugglery or what is the deeper meaning behind this? We will try to analyze today. Before that, we understand that this is the transformation, the devotional transformation that we are all hoping to have. And for us to be able to get transformed, we should have a learning attitude when we come to Bhagavad Gita. If we not have that attitude, we will not be able to learn much from Bhagavad Gita. Whatever we if we all have our own conditioning, we all have lived our life till for whatever the number of years that is our age, and during the course of our life we would have had a lot of learnings, lot of right, wrong, all kind of learnings we might have had. And but when we come to Bhagavad Gita, which is the source of all knowledge, um, all those learnings, we what we initially try to do is we try to see whatever Bhagavad Gita is teaching us, how much of it is in consistency with what I already know, and we accept that, we reject the other thing. Now, Bhagavad Gita is the ultimate source of knowledge. Bhagavad Gita is the absolute truth. The nectar of all Vedic instruction is in Bhagavad Gita. And hence, when we come to learn Bhagavad Gita, we should be prepared to unlearn our own learnings and adapt the learnings of Bhagavad Gita. We should learn Bhagavad Gita like a child try to learn the ABCD when he goes to the play school. Child has got no background information, but and with that innocent, with the kind of innocent that the child will have when he will go to the play school and learn ABCD, the same kind of innocence we all should have, same kind of openness we should have when we come to the study of Bhagavad Gita. And then Bhagavad Gita can do wonders to us. The battlefield of Kurukshetra and our life has got many parallels, and therefore Lord chose to speak Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield. It's not by accident that he spoke Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. It was a deliberate act, and it definitely represents the kind of sense of urgency and the sense of importance that the teachings of Bhagavad Gita possess in our life. That everything else we can stop. Whatever is happening in our life, we all can stop all of that and take a pause and then take a look at Bhagavad Gita teachings. It is that important. It is that urgent. Towards last session we discussed about some of these verses. We'll do a quick recap of these verses, and so basically we looked at this verse fourth chapter, verse 36, where Krishna is actually saying that he's highlighting the importance of sacrifice with faith and knowledge in this section of Bhagavad Gita. And he says that even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of misery. So once we get once we get the transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and start applying that knowledge by practicing devotional service in our life, by making changes, required changes in our life, what Krishna is saying that no matter how sinful you might be, you will be able to cross over the ocean of misery. Means you will be able to go back to Krishna. The moment you are situated in the boat, the moment you choose to jump into the ocean, which is the ocean of misery, then nobody will save you. And today we'll also discuss about what it implies. So it's a it's a it's a metaphoric boat, but nevertheless, the point is, if we if we if we hold on to the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and if we hold on to the practice of Krishna consciousness, hearing, chanting, and in association of devotees, then we are safe. Otherwise, we are all in danger, and that danger is, we'll see that in elaborated way, but that danger is remaining caught up in the cycle of repeated birth and death perpetually, not going back to Krishna, not experiencing the eternal life that we all deserve, eternal happy loving life that we all deserve. And we are all searching the same thing in this material world. We will be deprived of it, वे हमको वो नहीं मिल पाएगा. And we should not do such a disservice to the soul. We should serve the soul by allowing soul to go back to Krishna and meet his original master, or so that he can be he can remain in eternal happiness, eternal loving happiness, in the Goloka Dham, in the kingdom of God. So this is the goal of life. This is what Bhagavad Gita can do to us, and that benefit is more than any other benefit anybody would have given us. So such is the criticality of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and practice of devotional service in our life. Text 37, Krishna says that as a blazing fire turns firewood into ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions of material activities. In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoy this knowledge within himself in due course of time. So the bhakti, the if we perform bhakti nicely, loving devotional service to Lord Krishna nicely, the knowledge and detachment are byproducts of bhakti, are the children of bhakti. They automatically manifest. So all we have to do is to perform devotional service in a loving way, in the association of devotee, under guidance of devotees, to the Lord Krishna, and then the knowledge and the detachment, both will manifest automatically. Jnana and Vairagya are children of Bhakti. So we don't have to worry about them. We don't have to work hard to get them. Another beautiful set of verses, two verses we discussed last Sunday, is Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparah sanyatendriyaha jnanam labdha param shantim chirena adhigacchati. And ashraddhanascha ajnanascha ashraddhanascha samshayatma vinashyati nayam lokosti na paro na sukham samshayatmanaha. Very categorical statements. Krishna is speaking about two type of people, and what two kind of destination that these two type of people will attain when they engage in the respective activities. First type is that of Shraddhavan, the faithful man who is dedicated to the transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses, is eligible to achieve such knowledge, and having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. Now, quickly, once one accept the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita wholeheartedly and start practicing, put it into practice our day-to-day life, and we will take a look at how it is done in today's session. But the moment he does it, very quickly he attains supreme spiritual peace. बट उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? उसके लिए श्रद्धा से भगवत गीता का ज्ञान पढ़ना पड़ेगा, श्रद्धा से भगवत गीता समझनी पड़ेगी, श्रद्धा से वी हैव टू अप्रोच डिवोटीज इन हम्बल मूड एंड आस्क देम questions, ask them questions about Bhagavad Gita, ask them questions about how I can understand Bhagavad Gita properly, and having gotten that understanding, how I can apply these teachings into my life. Each life is unique, each life is different than the other, and hence we should inquire, we should talk about implementation of Bhagavad Gita into our life with devotees, and we should act on that knowledge. And then Krishna says, very quickly you will attain spiritual peace. And opposite are the other kind of people who are ignorant and faithless, who does not have knowledge, उनके पास कोई ज्ञान नहीं होता है और श्रद्धा भी नहीं होती है. सो ज्ञान न होने से वो न कुछ कर पाते हैं और श्रद्धा न होने से वो किसी का कुछ सुन पाते हैं. न अपने न मुझे कुछ आता है और न मैं किसी से सुनता हूँ, न कोई मेरी मदद कर सकता है, क्योंकि मैं मदद लेना ही नहीं चाहता. आई डोंट वांट एनीबॉडी टू हेल्प मी. सो I'm the most unfortunate. If I'm in this category, if I'm in this category, I'm the most unfortunate. I don't know myself what to do. And I'm so useless that I don't trust anybody. I have no faith on anybody. So even if they tell me something, I will not do it. Which means no one, even if any the best of people wants to help me, they cannot help me because I have no faith. I don't listen to them. So and I don't know myself also. So the worst kind of situation to be in is this people. These are this category of people. So even God cannot help them because they don't want to accept any help from anyone. So for the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. So we should become Shraddhavan. We should exercise reasonable faith with reasonable trust. And we should we discuss in last session how we can do that. Next couple of verses, and those are the concluding verses of chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. So one who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his action, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is situated factually in the self. Thus, he is not bound by the reactions of work, O conqueror of riches. And in the next verse, Krishna will conclude this chapter that tasmat jnanam asambhuta, tasmat jnanam, tasmat jnana sambhutam hastam jnana sinatmanaha chintaiva चित्वेनम संशयम योगम अत्युत्तिष्ठ भारत. चित्वेनम संशयम चित्वेनम संशयम योगम अत्युत्तिष्ठ भारत. Now, Uttishta is get up, Arjuna, and fight. So, therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Arm with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight. Now, suddenly, Krishna speak about fighting. He reminds Arjuna that we are on the battlefield. We have come here to fight, and you should fight by and because it's a war, the metaphor is given that of that of a weapon, and a weapon of knowledge. By the weapon of knowledge, you slash all the ignorance that has arisen in your heart, and with clarity of thought, clear mind, you rise and fight. Now again fight. Arjuna is confused. अर्जुन उवाच संन्यासं कर्मणा कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च संशसे यच्चेक एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्. Sannyasam or karmana, Krishna. Now, should I take sannyas or should I act? Oh Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work, and now then again you recommend work with devotion. Now, will you kindly tell me sunishchitam, that will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial? Now, this is a very similar question Arjuna asked at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter, 2.7, when Arjuna says, Pruchhami tvam dharma samudha cheta yat shreyasyansu nishchitam bruhitan me shishyaste aham shadhimatvam pramanam. What is Shreya? Please tell me, uh, please tell me with certainty, I don't want any confusion. So with certainty, please tell me what is best for me. Why? Because I'm in the bewildered state of mind. सम्मोहम मैं मोहित हो गया हूँ. आई एम नॉट एबल टू डिसाइड कि व्हाट इज राइट, व्हाट इज रॉन्ग, एंड व्हाट आई शुड डू, व्हाट इज माय धर्मा, व्हाट एम आई सपोज टू डू इन दिस सिचुएशन. आई एम अनेबल टू डिसाइड. Therefore, O Krishna, you please tell me. So this was the inquiry that Arjuna did at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita in the verse 2.7. Also in the third chapter, the Krishna, Arjuna asked a very similar kind of question, ki, where where Arjuna says that, "O Janardana, O Keshava, why do you want me to engage me? Why you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare, if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work?" So again, he's asking, should I fight this war or should I not fight this war? What is exactly you're telling? Similarly, at the beginning of chapter 5 also, Arjuna kind of asking the similar question, that he's still confused whether he want whether Krishna wants him to fight or Krishna want him to renounce and not fight. So for him, it's in a very simplistic way. He's looking at situation in a very simplistic way. That, but Krishna is now going to answer. So even if a similar question is asked, Krishna is going to answer it differently. Why? Because every time he speak about the similar concepts, he take the discussion deeper, and that is what Krishna will repeatedly do in the course of Bhagavad Gita. So sometimes we may feel that some of the concepts that were discussed earlier are again coming in the Bhagavad Gita, in the course of Bhagavad Gita, but we should understand that they're coming with a deeper knowledge, deeper perspective. And for that matter, no, initially, as the student progress, the concepts are explained in a much more can be explained in a much more detailed analytical way, and that is enriching for the student also. It's not that the same question बुद्धू है, एक स्टूडेंट बुद्धू है इसीलिए पूछ रहा है. It's not that way, and we'll come to know about that just in the next slide. So when was the last reference to fighting was done by Krishna? It was done in 3.30, and we are in 4.42. But and before speaking 4.42, Krishna already spoke 4.39, that Shraddhavan Labate Jnanam. So knowledge is special, knowledge is greatest, knowledge is the best. And with Shraddha, you should learn, we should gain that knowledge. And what will be the benefit? Benefit will be, you will get Param Shanti, supreme spiritual peace you will get. And so that spiritual peace implies non-violence. Um, the spiritual peace, how can there be peace if Arjuna was to fight a battle and kill all the people who have assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra? So he's equating peace with not fighting war, which is logical, which is not completely out of context. And he has to do he has to he has to control his senses. Niyat Sayyatendriyaha, that was a word in the 4.39. Sayyaten Indriya. So इंद्रियों को कंट्रोल करके, ज्ञान अर्जित करके परम शांति का मार्ग अपनाना है, मुझे वो अगर करना है, तो हाउ कैन आई अचीव दैट बाय फाइटिंग अ वॉर? So if I had to do what is been told to me in 4.39, then in 42, why is Krishna recommending fighting? उत्तिष्ठ एंड फाइट, उत्तिष्ठ एंड गो अवे, ऐसा तो नहीं बोला है. उत्तिष्ठो एंड गेट लॉस्ट, ऐसा तो नहीं बोला है. उत्तिष्ठो, हम लोग टर्न करते हैं रथ को और घर लेके जंगल में लेके जाते हैं, तो वहां पे आप ध्यान ना रख के बैठना और युद्ध करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, ऐसा तो नहीं बोला है. बोल रहे हैं, उठो और युद्ध करो. इज युद्ध इक्वल टू, बाय युद्ध कैन आई गेट पीस? By yuddha, is fighting war will demonstrate to the world that I am in control of my senses. by fighting this war for the piece of land, will people acknowledge that I am in knowledge? I have great knowledge. Uh, Arjuna see contradiction in this, and hence he asked this question. Before recommending fighting in 4.42, it was recommended in 2.37 and 38. And then very brief reference came in 3.30. 2.37, 38 famous verses. हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गम जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महिम तस्मात् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृत निश्चया. And 38 is सुख दुःख समे कृत्वा लाभालाभो जया जयो तत युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैनं पापम avapsasi. So both are contradictory messages, but both verses contained a reference to fight. So he was recommending fight, but with different consciousness. And in 3.30 also, Vigata Jwara, Yuddhasva Vigata Jwara was another brief reference to the fight. That let there be, that please fight. You fight this war. But by and large, after this, apart from these three verses, there is no reference to fight. In fact, there is a reference to gaining knowledge. There's a reference to gaining param shanti. So Arjuna is confused. That is what exactly Krishna wants me to do. Hence this question to Krishna to recommend one path that is best for me. Prabhupada write in the purport for this he gives a summary of what all has been discussed so far. 1 minute. Yeah. So Prabhupada writes that in the second chapter, Prabhupada gives a summary of all the second, third, and fourth chapter. What has been discussed by by Lord Krishna predominantly. So gives a quick summary of all that previous discussion, and he says that in the second chapter, preliminary knowledge of the soul and its entanglement in the material body were explained. So it's a preliminary knowledge, not a great knowledge. It's a basic knowledge. The adhyatma शुरू होता है knowledge of आत्मा से. Spirituality begins with the knowledge about spirit. If you happen to be associated with any organization, so-called spiritual organization, who are not teaching you anything about you being spirit soul, caught up into this material existence and transmigrating from one body to another body, then you are being cheated, because this is the fundamental knowledge everyone should teach who is interested in exploring spirituality. This is the fundamental knowledge. This is not great knowledge, but this is the basic knowledge with which should be given to every student. And if our spiritual path, our so-called spiritual path doesn't tell us this, then we are being cheated. Then that's unfortunate. So we should be aware of what we are learning and from where we are learning all those things, and what is the foundational scripture basis which these teachings are given. So Bhagavad Gita should be accepted as that foundational book. It's a foundational book. It's not the ultimate book, but it help us. It has the same potency as Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Chaitanya Chatamrut if we accept and apply the teachings of Bhagavad Gita into our life. So, Prabhupada write that how to get out of this material engagement by Buddhi Yoga or devotional service was also explained. It's not sufficient just to know that I am spirit soul and I am caught up in the cycle of repeated birth and death, and I am currently presently in this body. Now, this knowledge is necessary but not sufficient. I should know how I can get out of this material engagement. Cagement means it's like a cage, it's like a prison. For the soul, it's like a prison. Soul is not free. Soul is forced to accept another body without his choice. Soul cannot choose parents. Soul cannot choose the what kind of body that one will get. It's been allotted to the soul by the law of karma. So soul is helplessly moving from one body to another body, and suffering and enjoying the fruits of karma that is getting delivered in that particular sharira. So it's in a helpless state. So one should one should know that I am soul and I am caught up in the cycle of repeated birth. Second, I should know how I should get out, how I can get out of this repeated cycle of birth and death. And for that, Buddhi Yoga or devotional service was recommended in the second chapter and was explained in detail. In the third chapter, it was explained that a person who is situated on the platform of knowledge no longer has any duties to perform. And in the fourth chapter, the Lord told Arjuna that all kind of sacrificial work culminates in knowledge. However, at the end of fourth chapter, the Lord advised Arjuna to wake up and fight, being situated in perfect knowledge. Therefore, by simultaneously stressing the importance of both work in devotion and inaction in knowledge, Krishna has perplexed Arjuna and confused his determination, and hence Arjuna is asking question. Arjuna is looking at life in a very simplistic way. He's feeling that if I'm attached, I will act. If I'm detached, I will renounce. If I'm attached to sense enjoyment, I will act because it's normal. You your eyes want to see something, your tongue wish to eat something, you will have to act. You will have to go and search for that pleasing object for the eyes. You'll have to go and search for the food that can please the sense of tongue, uh, sense of taste in your tongue. So if you want to, if you have desires, so many desires, if you have desire to do this, do that, then you will be forced to act day and night to be able to fulfill the goal of your life, the dream of your life, the desires of your heart, and you'll be forced to act. So, if we are attached to the sensual desires, sense gratification, senses, if you're attached to the senses, you will be forced to act. But if I'm detached from my senses, then I will give up action. And Arjuna is thinking that Krishna has been recommending detachment. Krishna has been recommending, telling me about how to not entangled. If I'll act, I will definitely get entangled, and hence I should not act. I should not act, and that's why Arjuna is thinking maybe Krishna is recommending him not to work. Now, Krishna in the third chapter also told Arjuna that is not the purpose, and he explained that how one can one cannot act even for a moment. नहीं कश्चित क्षणमपि, फॉर अ क्षण ऑल्सो, एक क्षण भर के लिए भी हम बिना कुछ किए रह ही नहीं सकते. नाउ दिस नॉलेज इज अगेन एट द लेवल ऑफ बॉडी, एंड ही गिव्स एग्जांपल कि शरीर यात्रा भी संभव नहीं है. अगर हमने काम करना बंद कर दिया तो शरीर कैसे चलेगा. एंड वी डिस्कस एट अ बेसिक लेवल दैट इवन व्हेन यू आर listening to this class, you are doing something. If not, if hopefully you're not physically doing something, you're just listening attentively to the class, but even consuming data or consuming information that is coming through your ear is also activity. At the same time, you're breathing. At the same time, you're digesting your dinner and the breakfast that you've had from the previous meals. So these are some of these are voluntary actions. Some of these are involuntary actions. Nevertheless, there are actions. Not for a moment, not even for a moment, we can remain without action. So Arjuna is thinking like in a simplistic terms, and Krishna says life is not that simple. Yes, your understanding is correct that if you're attached, you will be acting, but out of attachment, you may renounce also. We'll see this by way of an example. Um, out of detachment, yes, natural outcome of detachment is renunciation. If you're detached, you will renounce. but people can act also in renounced mood. In that renounced detached mood, people can act also. So life is not that simple. So hence, don't think it in such a simplistic way. So Krishna is going to complicate things a little bit. When you take concepts deeper, obviously you cover other aspects of that same concept from different perspective, and hence the concept may remain the same. But we are discussing, because we are discussing different perspectives. We are it still appears to be new, and hence Arjuna is now attentively listening to what Krishna is going to explain. Krishna speaks, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Sanyasah Karma Yogascha Nishreya Nishreyasya Karabhubho Karab Ubho Tayastu Karma Sanyasa Satkaro Sat तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात कर्म योगो विशिष्यते ज्ञेय स नित्य संन्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न कांक्षति निर्द्वंद्वो हि महाबाहो सुखम बंधान प्रमुच्यते सुखम बंधात प्रमुच्यते. What is Krishna saying? That sannyasah karma yogascha. The personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. Are both good for liberation, but of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. Now he's saying that, see, this we are in chapter 5. Okay, so in the next section, next chapter is Dhyana Yoga. So he's kind of preparing Arjuna for that concept also. While replying in the third chapter to the similar sounding question, Krishna did not spoke this, that both are good. He did not recommend like that. He's recommending it now. Why? Because Arjuna has heard, has gained some knowledge, has better understanding of the conception now. So now Krishna can take this conception deeper. Now he's saying that it's that, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. So liberation, you can attain Krishna by both means, but of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. Now he's confirming that you can get same results by following both path. It's not contradictory. They can work. They are parallel path, but one is easy, one is difficult. It's not that, one should never renounce, but given the time, place, circumstances, you should not renounce. And this is easier. Working is easier. The one who neither hates the one na dveshti na kankshati. The one who neither hates nor desires the fruit of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcome the material bondage and is completely liberated. O mighty arm! Now he is giving symptoms of that who can be considered as a liberated, and it has got nothing to do with what color cloth he is wearing, or whether he is living in householder's life or he is living in a sannyas life, a brahmachari life. So na dveshti na kankshati. Geya sa nitya sannyasi yo, the one who na dveshti, जो द्वेष नहीं करता, और न कांक्षति, not desire of his, does not have desires to enjoy the fruits of one's action. So such a person is always renounced, even if such person is in not in the renounced order of life. What is happening? Krishna is comparing jnana yoga, path of renunciation, with sannyasa, giving up of activities. And so these are all one. Jnana yoga, sannyasa, or giving up of activities. He's comparing that with karma yoga, or work in devotion, performing activities for the satisfaction of Krishna. Again, Krishna will reiterate that activities must be performed by all living entities. If spiritual activities are not taught and performed, by default, material activities will be performed. So, this for the purpose of yoga, the connection with Krishna is essential. Connection with Krishna is essential, and hence, if we do not purposefully establish this connection with Krishna, by default, we will do activities which are unconnected with Krishna, unrelated with Krishna. We will be wandering in the dense forest of stock market, wondering when will there are too many crackpots work waiting for a jackpot. When will my time come? When will my business grow? When will my salary will get doubled? When will my stocks outperform the whole market? When will I enjoy? When will I be happy? Uh, when will I have this? When will I have that? When will I fulfill my dream? When will I achieve all my financial and health goals? When will so so one after another, when we have unlimited desires, and to to fulfill all of those, one is forced to act. Now, these are all unrelated with Krishna. If they happen to be all unrelated with Krishna, uh, that's not devotional service. That is not work in devotion. So activities must be performed, and if spiritual activities are not performed, by default we will perform material activities, and the outcome of those material activity is we will remain caught up in the material world perpetually. So, performing activities is natural to living entities and to soul also, who is always very active. Renouncing activities of senses, giving up sense engagement is unnatural. We cannot tell our soul not to do anything. The soul is always active, always searching for things to do. So, sannyasa of karma is very difficult. It's not impossible. Krishna doesn't call it impossible. He says, of the two, this one is better. Why? Because this one is easy. It's not that one should never give up work, and we'll come to that in a while. That at some stage we can give up work. We can give up work. It's not giving up. It's not that completely stopping the work, but completely stopping the material work, and we can completely engage ourselves in spiritual world. So, renouncing of activities of the senses, giving up sense engagement and enjoyment is unnatural. Sannyasa of karma is very difficult, hence not recommended. But sannyasa in karma is advised. What is the difference? We will take a look at that as we progress. But we have to remember that sannyasa in karma is advised by Krishna, and we have to figure out what it really means. Prabhat quotes uh, in this chapter 2 of the purport for the second verse in the fifth chapter, and he quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, fifth canto, contains a description of pastime of Srila Rishabhadev. Rishabhadev is incarnation of Krishna himself, and he made a famous address to his 100 sons, and the eldest one was Bharat Maharaj, who by whose name this island, this place is called Bharat Varsha. And this Bharat Maharaj, who renounced, went to forest and got attached to a deer, a baby deer, and had to accept a body of a deer before becoming Jada Bharata and then going back to Krishna. So the same Bharata Maharaj. So Bharat Maharaj is also leading along with his 99 other brothers, listening to the speech given by their father, who is Rishabh Dev, Lord Krishna himself. Rishabdev speaks very elaborately, and and everyone was present in the kingdom. They assembled to hear to these divine instructions given by their king. Maharaj is saying that whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to the Mahatmas. To the Mahatmas, one should devotee association. One should take devotee association. We should serve them. And last Saint Sunday also we discussed about Prati Prashnena Sevaya. That uh, in a humble mood, we should pranipatena, we should pay obeisances, and then we should inquire pariprashnena sevaya, and we should perform some seva to Mahatmas. And upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. They can give you knowledge because they have seen the truth. They know things in tattva. They have heard in parampara. Therefore, they can give. Not that they will speak out of their own mind. We don't have to listen to anybody's mind. We have to listen to the scriptures and the realizations that people have got, and then only it will make sense to us. So, Rishabh Dev is saying that for those who are not interested in such activities, not interested in activities of devotional service for ultimately going back to Krishna, if you're not interested in these activities and who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. Two path, two results. Very clearly, he is bifurcating. First one is that of devotional service, where you are interested in yoga, you are interested in connecting with Krishna, you are interested in serving devotees, you are interested in performing devotional service, hearing and chanting. You have some sukruti because of which you have picked up these activities. You want to do it, and you want to end the cycle of repeated birth and death. You don't want to come back to this miserable material world, um, and suffer. So you realize that you are suffering, and therefore you are seeking a way out of this uncomfortable situation. And opposite to this kind of category of people are those who are who are unable to identify their miserable condition and who wants to enjoy the at the sensual level. And so those this is the second category of people. The first one can attain liberation. We say that
ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನ್ ಅನ್ಲಿಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ ಪಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
no matter.
ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮೇನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನೀನು ಲಾಯರ್ ಹೋಗು.
Yeah,
ಅವ್ರು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ದಾಗಾರ.
yeah. So no matter how sinful you are, uh, with the knowledge, cultivation of knowledge and devotional service, uh, you can go back to Krishna. And if you're not if you're not interested in that, then you will be interested in women and sex and the sense enjoyment, the path of sense enjoyment. You will remain caught up in the cycle of repeated birth. Prabhupada writes the purport that people are mad after sense gratification, and they do not know that this present body, which is full of miseries, is a result of one's fruitive activities in past. Prabhupada, right? I mean, is reiterating. This is the outcome of the description of very brief summary of uh, what Rishabh Dev spoke to his children. That people are mad after sense gratification, and they do not know how they have got their present body. It's because of the fruitive activities performed in the past, not spiritual activities, not devotional activities, but fruitive activities. Fruitive activities simply means that I do something for my pleasure, where I'm interested in the fruit of my action. I'm performing action with an intention to enjoy the fruit. So this is called fruitive activities, and those activities, even if uh, performed without harming others, so called without troubling other people, in lawful way, using our own resources without stealing anything from anyone, even if in a sattvic way also, even if these are performed, they are still causing bondage. Why? Because they are not there's because they are done for the satisfaction of the self rather than uh, doing being done for the satisfaction of the supreme. That's the difference. The motive is to make myself happy and not make Krishna happy. Now, the change in the motive changes the outcome completely. In the second thing, if you're acting for the pleasure of Krishna, you don't get any fruit. Even if you will kill, you will not get a fruit. What to speak of doing other actions. And but even if you do a slightest any activity for your own pleasure, uh, even though not sinful, even though done in a very sattvic way, it is still considered to be in the from the law of karma perspective, it's called fruitive activity, and you will get a fruit of that action. And that for that fruit, you are forced to accept another temporary body. So Prabhupada write further that although this body is temporary, it is always giving one trouble in many ways. Therefore, to act for sense gratification is not good. One is considered to be a failure in life as long as he makes no inquiry about his real identity. As long as he does not know his real identity, he has to work for fruitive results for sense gratification. And as long as one is engrossed in the consciousness of sense gratification, one has to transmigrate from one body to another. Although the mind may be engrossed in fruitive activities and influenced by ignorance, one must develop a love for Krishna, love for devotional service to Vasudeva. Although mind may be engrossed in fruitive activities and influenced by ignorance, one must develop love for devotional service to Vasudeva. So, yena kena prakarena mana Krishna निवेशते, किसी भी प्रकार से मन को कृष्ण में लगाइए. दैट इज द अल्टीमेट मैसेज बाय द शास्त्रा. अगर हम वो नहीं करेंगे तो वी विल बी अटैच टू द सेंशुअल प्लेजर्स. एंड अगर हम वही पे रहेंगे तो वी हैव वन हैज टू ट्रांसमाइग्रेट फ्रॉम वन बॉडी टू अनदर. So the another 13.22, Krishna says Purusham Prakriti Stohi Bhunte Prakriti Jangunan Karana Guna Sangosya Sata Asata Yoni Janmasu. You're forced to take birth in lower and higher species of life because of your desire to enjoy. Such is the danger. Now, if you all can take a look at your phones, you must be part of various WhatsApp groups. And in all of those WhatsApp groups, think of people who 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 know about their real identity, who knows about their real identity, who knows that they are not their bodies but they are spirit souls. Think of your uncles, think of your aunties, think of your masis, chachis, dadas, dadus, and their so who all are actually living their life in compliance with this paragraph, this couple of paragraphs that Rishabh Dev is mentioning, and what is going to be the destination that they will attain. So if you see, very few people actually know that they are not this body, they are spirit soul. And some of them know, but many of them are unable to take up to the process of devotional service. And out of those who take up to the process of devotional service, start attending Bhagavad Gita, start reading Bhagavad Gita, start doing japa, many of them are unable to give up their old habits, and then they fall prey to the temptations and they go back. Many of those who survive, very few, very out of those who survive to perform devotional service by giving up some old bad habits, um, read Bhagavad Gita, stay in association of devotees. Some of them may have issues in continuing with the devotional service, and very few of them actually are doing it in a consistent way. You know, people come ahetuki apratihata. Now this is very rare that we see that, and we may also fall into one of that category who gets dropped out uh, today, that we may not be consistent in reading Bhagavad Gita, we may not be consistent in doing japa, we may not have contributed sufficiently. So we are still attached to money, we are still attached to our old habits, we are still attached to some level of intoxication, mild intoxication, even if it is, we are still attached to sensual pleasures that people seems to be getting. We're still attached to movies, cricket, tennis, some sport, this, that. We still holding on to all those things, while in parallel we might be trying to cultivate some Krishna consciousness. And we might be struggling at both places. We still have attraction to go for parties, enjoy with people, dance with people. Dance could be, we could have retained some of these or lot of these attachments, and hence we might be struggling in both. We're neither able to enjoy properly, nor we are able to progress steadily on the path of devotional service. So it's a very clear instruction, but has to be implemented in our respective lives. And Maharaj says that, Rishabdev says that even though you might be engrossed in creative activities, somehow or the other you must cultivate Krishna consciousness. You must cultivate devotional service to Vasudeva. It's like when um, children don't want to study, and they are at times forcibly asked to study by the parents. They are forced to study by the parents because it is good for their long-term good. It is beneficial for their long-term process, and hence it is done in that way. So uh, at times we have to play a role of a parent for our mind. It's not that mind will always be wanting to listen to us, but yena kena prakarena, somehow or the other, we have to trick our mind and ask that mind to get attached to Krishna. It's not easy. We may get pulled from so many different directions. ये करते हैं, वो करते हैं, इसमें क्या बुरा है, इसमें क्या अच्छा है, इसमें तो कितना मजा आ रहा है, देखो people on social media, they are so happy. Why am I suffering? Why am I not allowed to do this? Why am I not allowed to do that? So and so forth. So ये न के न प्रकार है ना, जिस किसी प्रकार हमको इंस्पिरेशन मिलती है भक्ति करने की, जो चीजें हमें भक्ति में अच्छी लगती है, we should direct ourselves, in that we should take ourselves in that direction, and make sure that we somehow or the other develop love for devotional service to Vasudeva. Only then can one have the opportunity to get out of the bondage of material existence. Otherwise, one is forced to move from one body to another body, one mother to another, one caste to another, one species to another, sometimes men, sometimes demigods, sometimes birds, sometimes animals, sometimes insects. Now, this is also a lot of religions. Many religions don't believe that having come to human, you can ever become animal. But that's not true. Bhagavad Gita very clearly indicates, clearly tells that you have a very good chance of becoming chicken if you have eaten a lot of chicken in your life. Someday you will become chicken, and the chicken will become human, and you will get killed at their hand. So it's not that once a human will always remain a human. There's no guarantee. And Sata Asata Yoni Janmasu is a reality. We see in the scriptures such an advanced devotee like Bharat Maharaj himself became a deer, had to accept deer's body because he's thinking about deer. He developed attachment toward deer towards the end of his life. We may become dog if we become attached to dog. We may have dog, we may have a pet dog in our home, and out of compassion, out of love, we may be giving a lot of love to that dog, and we have a very good chance of becoming a dog in our next birth if we are attached to dog, if we give up our body thinking about that god dog. so so we have a choice whether to think about god or think about dog, and get the corresponding results. So the right action, right result, the wrong action, wrong results. No need to blame anyone else for that purpose. Prabhupada writes that renunciation is complete. In the purport, Prabhupada writes towards the end of this chapter, second verse of fifth chapter, that renunciation is complete when it is in the knowledge that everything in the existence belongs to the Lord, and that no one should claim proprietorship over anything. Then Prabhupada raise a pertinent question कि तुम्हारा कुछ है ही नहीं तो तुम रिनाउंस क्या कर रहे हो. One should understand that factually nothing belongs to anyone. Then where is the question of renunciation? अगर can you renounce Shivaji Park ground? You can't because it doesn't belong to you. कैन यू रिनाउंस मैं ताजमहल छोड़ देता हूं, मुझे ताजमहल से कोई लेना देना नहीं है आज से. नाउ यू कैनॉट रिनाउंस व्हाट यू डोंट ओन. सो ताजमहल आपका है ही नहीं तो आप क्यों गिव अप कर रहे हो. सो आपका घर है, आप घर छोड़ के जा सकते हो, बट ताजमहल जो कि आपका है ही नहीं, यू कैनॉट गिव इट अवे. सो यू कैन गिव what you possess. So if what is then Prabhupada raises the point that nothing you may be taking care of this home. This home you may say is in your name today, but this home will not disappear when you will give up this body. It will simply change the name, which means the home also does not belong to you. The body does not belong to you. This body which we are so proud of, I'm in male body, I'm a female body, I have a beautiful body, whatever our conception of our body which we reiterate by clicking a selfie and posting it on the social media, or so that so this body also is not ours. It does not belong to soul. Just like this house is given to me temporarily, uh, to stay and to use. Similarly, my wife is given to me. My the souls, like my body is also given to me in the same way. So I have to return. It's a returnable gift. It's a returnable product. When I will give up my body, this body will be returned to the nature, because that this body has been made up of elements which are brought, which are borrowed from the nature and which are returned to the nature after I finish my use. So nothing is ours. One should understand that factually nothing belongs to us. Then where is the question of renunciation? Prabhupada writes further that one who knows that everything is Krishna's properly, everything is Krishna's property, is always situated in renunciation. A very powerful statement that one who knows that everything is Krishna's property is always situated in renunciation. When I know something belongs to you, then what will be my mood? So if I have come to your home and I know that in this home nothing is mine, everything belongs to you. Air conditioner is belonging to you, the fans are belonging to you, the food is belonging to you, the clothes are belonging to you. I have just come in, so nothing is mine. Then before taking anything from your home, I will be, first of all, I'll have a very humble mood that you're I nothing is mine, but still you're allowing me to come here and stay and use all of these things for my purpose. For that one purpose, one reason itself, I will be very humble. I will have I should have a lot of gratitude for you if you allow me to do that. Okay. So then, secondly, I will use everything for your service, for your pleasure, because I will ask you for permission before taking anything. Because if you happen to be there, I will be I will use everything for your pleasure also, because I know everything is yours. Since everything belongs to Krishna, everything should be employed in the service of Krishna. Prabhupada puts it into the very clear statement. Since everything belongs to Krishna, everything should be employed in the service of Krishna. This perfect form of action in Krishna consciousness is far better than any amount of artificial renunciation. Artificial renunciation, which is practiced by many spiritualists, Prabhupada says this is useless. That is useless. So this should be our mood. This should be our mood. And if you do have this mood, then you are perfect renounce. You are properly renounced. Prabhupada write further that the text 4, 5, and 6 of Bhagavad Gita we will discuss, and then we will move further. Only the ignorant speak. Then this is Lord Krishna continues to speak in the fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, fourth and fifth verses. Only the ignorant speak of devotional service, karma yoga, as being different from analytical study of the material world, Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the result of both. One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees things as they are. Merely renouncing all activities, yet not engaging in devotional service, merely renouncing all activities, but yet not engaging in devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. So, this false renunciation is what Krishna is very clearly outlining, saying that you should not do. Okay, and in the previous couple of verses, Krishna discussed Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga and Sankhya Yoga, basically. Sankhya Yoga, Jnana Yoga, it is it can be used in a alternative, as if it can be used you know similar with similar kind of a meaning. So Sankhya, Sankhya means analytical study of what is temporary, what is eternal, what is material, what is spiritual, and so on and so forth. So this analysis of temporary material world leads to detachment from the material activities. Now, such knowledge ultimately leads one to find Krishna, the root of everything. But it's not very obvious. Analysis leads to detachment. Why? Because the female forms, nicely dressed female forms, looks very attractive, can look very attractive, can look very beautiful, uh, and a lot of people can have a lot of attraction for the opposite, the bodily form of opposite sex, especially dress nicely, makeup with a lot of proper makeup, and good photography, good video shooting. So that's why people, the film stars, the characters in the films, Bollywood, television, in fashion industry, they look very, very attractive. uh, so, and they draw a lot of fandom. A lot of fan people have become a lot of people become their fans. They try to follow them, their style, their actions. They follow who they follow their life practically. Their every action in their life gets widely publicized, and so on and so forth. So people are attracted to the bodily form of people, and but the same body, uh, when it is decorated with clothes, uh, draw more attention, and when it is decorated without clothes, even that gets even more attention. The pornography, the nudity in the film, nudity in the television, nudity in the fashion industry also is glorified today, and the more the better. And that's why it's increasing in the social media, increasing in the films. So a decorated body looks better, and it is nude bodies are considered to be even more better by the people. But what happens if we if we if that skin is also taken out? If the skin is also taken out, then what is inside that same body which people were finding it attractive? Imagine what will come out. So when the clothes are removed, the body became more attractive. The skin is removed, the body should become more attractive. But it doesn't happen that way. When the skins are removed of the same people, you can imagine the skins being taken out, the blood will come out. The bone, the flesh, the blood, the urine, the pus, these are the things which will become visible. And it will not be a very pretty sight. Now, now the same person who has millions of fans on the social media, and people are waiting to see them nicely decorated. When the next photo shoot will happen, when the next pictures will get released, they're all waiting. They praise their beauty and so on and so forth. So they have millions of mad fans behind these stars. And when they shoot without clothes, even their fandom increases. And but the same fandom will disappear the moment they are shot without skin also. Nobody will be nobody will be there. So why everybody suddenly develop detachment from the same attractive object? Because that attractive object remains not attractive anymore, because the analysis naturally brings out detachment in us. The pastry may look very attractive from the outside. It's kept in the display, बहुत अच्छा सुंदर लगती है, खाने का मन होता है, बहुत अट्रैक्टिवली डेकोरेट किया जाता है. But that pastry is nothing but batter, ghee, sugar. So when the same pastry is available in form of this ingredient which are kept on the table, doesn't look same attractive. So 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 this analysis bring up detachment, leads to detachment from the material activities. So if you analyze each and every activity like this, you can develop some detachment because of that analysis. Such knowledge ultimately leads one to find Krishna, the root of everything. So this all this material using which I made up this pastry, the all these materials, from where they are coming, and who is supplying me with all this material? The ghee is supplied by cow. A cow eats grass and gives milk, and milk, using milk I'm producing ghee. But this grass comes from rain come from when the demigod supplies rain, and they supply basis the instruction given by Supreme Lord Krishna. So ultimately, every to the root of everything is Lord Krishna. So ultimately, any analytical knowledge, when you take it, try to go to the root of it, you will find Krishna everywhere. And hence, you will become Krishna conscious even if you follow Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya means to count. What is this whole universe is made up of? Gyanendriya, Shabda Sparsha, Rasa Gandha Surupam. Karmendriya, the hands, leg, genitals, rector, speech. Panchamahabhuta, earth, water, ether, fire, air. Then Tanmatras, they are also five. That becomes 20. Then you have mind intelligence, false ego, that is 23. And Pradhana, which comes from the Supreme Lord. Total 24 elements. The whole world is created by these 24 elements. Soul is seated, our body is also made up of this very much 24 elements only. So no matter who is your favorite male female superstars, when their when their clothes are removed, they become more attractive, and when their skin is removed, they become uh, extremely unattractive. And why? Because then these elements come up: earth, water, fire, air, ether, and all these genitals and senses, and all these elements, the 24 elements with which they are made up of, they come out, and they don't look very attractive. But the root of all of these is Supreme Lord. The world is created by this 24 element, and soul is seated in a machine made up of these 24 elements only. I'm sitting in my body, you are sitting in your body. Now this knowledge can make us soul conscious from being bodily conscious, and hence detachment becomes easier. If I'm soul, I'm not this body, then how much should I be interested in the bodily activities? Only to the extent it is necessary. So let's talk about that aspect. That spirit of renunciation in work is better than renunciation of work itself. The spirit of renunciation in work. Now, sannyasa in karma, not sannyasa of karma, not stopping the work, but but performing work in the renounce mood. It's a change of consciousness, it's a change of motivation, not the change of action. We may still do the action, same action, but because of the different motivation, the outcome is different. So spirit of renunciation in work, and renunciation of work. The out of the two, the spirit of renunciation in work is better. How do we apply? Look at it from the our practical point of view. Some of you could be students. So how will you apply this in your life? If you are a student, study well, get good marks, get settled in a job at some time. Uh, at the same time, read Bhagavad Gita, hear online classes, visit temples wherever you get opportunity, eat prasadam, offer food to Krishna, offer sattvic, eat only sattvic food, offer it to Krishna before eating. You can do it anytime, anywhere, and you just have no excuse for not doing it. Remain, because the whole food is supplied by Krishna, so you should thank him before accepting it. Remain in association of devotees. Chant Hare Krishna daily. It is possible. If we do these things, we're not giving up study. It's not that renunciation of studies that is recommended, but combining the studies, doing the studies in a mood of devotion, that is recommended. Along with studies, one can cultivate knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, one can cultivate knowledge of Krishna consciousness, one can perform sadhana, one can eat, stay away from sinful food by taking prasadam only, and by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, increasing our loving devotion to Krishna. By doing all these things can be done, are doable along with my study. I don't have to give up my study, but I have to change the motivation behind my study, change the back end. The front end can remain the same, the back end has to be changed. The back end motivation, inspiration, my knowledge, all that has to change. If I'll not do this, I may still study, and I may get attracted in cinema. I may get attracted in Bollywood songs, Hollywood songs, rock songs, alcohol, cigarette, party, male female entanglement, um, sports, and all those things. I will just take one thing leads to another, and I will seek similar association also. When I'm seeking learning, loving, developing love for Krishna, I'm seeking devotee association. But when I want to know more about politics and stock market, I will seek similar association. So it's not that I will have to do something. So better if it will be if I will do Krishna consciousness activities, and at the same time I will continue to study as well, and study well, not just study well. Eventually I will come to the age of I'll finish study, probably I'll get into some job, I will become 27, 28, 30, and then I should seek for alliance with a spouse who is also Krishna conscious. We can have a nice small temple at home, raise children, don't avoid sinful activities, avoid association of people who are performing those sinful activities also, and that will imply giving up some association with our relatives, giving up association. It could be unwanted association with our best buddies, chaddi buddies, or our best of friends, our office colleagues, our college friends, or whatever. Who are not into Krishna consciousness but who are into all kind of colorful activities, they continue to do those colorful activities. So we'll have to give up. So there is a price to be paid. It's not that easy. Saying no will not be easy. Avoiding them will not be easy. Or coming to devotee association is also not easy. Sharing our heart with devotees is not easy. Chanting Hare Krishna is not easy. My mind can give me 100 excuses for not doing so. So, and so this way I can live a grahastha life in the Krishna conscious way. I don't have to give up grahastha life. I don't have to artificially become a sannyasi or start wearing uh, the saffron cloths. And doesn't matter which is the color of the cloth that I'm wearing. If I'm in pure state, I can become sannyasi even in the grahastha ashram. I can live like a sannyasi in the grahastha ashram. But it's not that we should not give up material activities at all. It's not that there can come a time when we should consider giving up material activities for maintaining our body and soul together, material activities for earning finances for maintenance of our family and taking care of our future savings. So, so some stage in our life we should also consider once we cross 50, 60, we can fully renounce the material work, the hand over everything to our new generation, and can become full time. We can perform activities in Krishna consciousness. We can give up giving up material work, remain in association of devotees, chant Hare Krishna daily. So if you would have noticed, remaining in devotee association and chanting of Hare Krishna appears in all the stages. The moment, the day you come to know you are not this body, you are spirit soul, and Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and whatever we have got it from Krishna, and we should go back to Krishna. We belong to Krishna. Krishna owns us. uh, Once we get to this basic knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, from then onwards, uh, now these two things we must do every day, every time we should check. Am I taking association of devotees? Am I chanting Hare Krishna? If not, something is terribly wrong in my life. So we should chant Hare Krishna daily. We should associate with devotees as frequently as we can. We should visit temples. So that way, we can lead a normal life, but at the same time remain Krishna conscious throughout our life. At some stage, we can also become a full time devotee where we 24 by 7 we think of how I can serve Krishna, how I can devote myself to Krishna, and that way we can um, yeah we can also perform the same activities for the pleasure of Krishna. A story. A king. There was a king who heard about renunciation, the importance of renunciation. He said, "I'll renounce." He renounces the world, renounces his forest, renounces his palace, his wife, his children, everything goes to the foresters except saffron dress and nicely. For last 6 months, he's trying to meditate and live like a sadhu, but he's not experiencing peace of mind. Always experience some distraction, some disturbance, some agitation. कहीं कुछ होता है तो वो देखता है जाके क्या हुआ, because he's king. So he used to handle all issues. So अगर कुछ issue आता है तो he used to, all those things used to come up, um, and he used to go and find out this ये करना है वो करना है. So his mind remained troubled, even though he changed his dress. His At his mind he was not peaceful. He met another sadhu who was very peaceful and seems to be in complete control of himself and happy. uh, Now this Maharaj, king, inquires with this sadhu कि देखो, आपने भी सैफरॉन पहना है, मैंने भी सैफरॉन पहना है, आपने भी, आपका भी कोई घरदार नहीं है, आप जंगल में रहते हो, यहाँ पे घूमते हो, जो मिला वो खा रहे हो, नदी में नहा रहे हो, कुछ कोई प्रोविजन नहीं है, कुछ मतलब आपने, so my and your our lifestyles are almost similar. So why is it that I'm not able to, why is it that I'm not feeling peaceful by doing the same activities that you are doing, and you on the other hand seems to be in very nice mood or very nice peaceful condition? I can sense it, I can feel it. So Sadhu says that, that 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 we have just met. I don't know anything about you. And then this king gets triggered. The moment the sadhu says that I don't know anything about you, this king gets triggered, and then next 1 hour he starts explaining about his complete history. पूरा हिस्ट्री बता दे शुरू कर देते हैं, 1 घंटे का लेक्चर देते हैं कि मैं कैसा था, मैं कहाँ था, मैं कौन था, मैं ऐसा था, ये था मेरे पास, वो था मेरे पास, ऑपुलेंस था, इतना पैसा था, पावर थी, कंट्रोल था, फैमिली थी, इतनी रानियां थी, इतने बच्चे थे, ये मतलब पूरा 1 घंटे का लेक्चर देना शुरू करता है. नाउ क्वेश्चन इज, डिस्टर्ब माइंड सबके पास होता है. आई डोंट वांट यू टू टाइप यस, नो. Hopefully all of us experience disturbance in mind or sometime or the other. But in this case, the king was not able to experience peace of mind, even though he was wearing dress of a sadhu and living in jungle, giving up all his valuable possessions. So again, no, it's not a small achievement for anybody who is lived in a palace like a king. This is not a small achievement, to give up everything and start living like a sadhu. It's not small thing. This is great, this is big thing, but still he was unable to experience peace of mind. Can anybody enlighten us why it, why was his condition like this? One or two answers maybe. Yes, Vikas Roger.
Hare Krishna, Guruji, Dandavat Pranam. So, Guruji, as you gave it the like title of internal versus external consciousness. So, externally, although he was wearing that saffron clothes, but he was always meditating on that where I have come from. Like I was a king, and his mind was always busy in those kind of judgments, means judgmental, like how I am living right now. But he was not internalizing that ultimately I need to be controller of my own senses and my consciousness, where my consciousness is going. And that is why the second sadhu was always peaceful, because he was always meditating on that what is what is the real necessity of life, and not the like being controlled by the senses, but rather to control my own senses and to live it according to the like Shastric injunctions. And in that way, our internal consciousness actually becomes a more predominant than the external consciousness. So just wearing the clothes of the renunciate or some sadhus is not the quality, is not the like qualification, but rather to correct our internal consciousness, and
Okay.
then we can remain peaceful. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
thank you. Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
pranam.
Yes, Kanchan Mataji. Last comment.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Same as Vikas Prabhuji shared, that only changing the external things will not make us renounce and will not make us Krishna conscious, or we have to perform duties. Even if we are in a Grihastha ashram, if we are performing Krishna's consciousness, then it is much better than just changing the clothes and going and leaving everything, getting rid of our duties which are to be performed. That's what I understand.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I saw some lot of answers in the chat box also, and yeah, that's a correct thought process. That it's not just changing of clothes is not sufficient. The sadhu stops the king in between and says that you have you have externally given up things, but internally you are still attached to them. Somebody said that attachment. Um, and you cherish and long for those possessions in your mind, even though externally you are trying to give it up. Now now this is due to impure internal consciousness. Now this purification will not happen overnight. Okay, it's like a very overweight person, 120 kgs, goes to a gym and start following all the instructions. Uh, Now, he may not look like a bodybuilder on day one. Even both are in the same gym, but one has done it for last 2 years, 3 years, and one has just started now. They are not going to look similar. That they'll not have the same outcome. So one will have to purify one's internal consciousness in order to be able to come to the stage of peace and peace and loving devotional service. So this impure internal consciousness we all possess. Now this is where the work happens. This is where we have to work on by by following four regulative principles, by chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by daily reading from Bhagavad Gita, so that we get it's a we forget daily, therefore we should read daily. It's not that हमको एक चीज समझ में आती है, but it's like our name. We don't need to read what is our name every day to remember, because we never forget our name. Our name of our body, we don't forget. Even in sleep, we will say the same name. But uh, but I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. This knowledge gets covered very easily the moment we step out on the road, the moment we step in our office, the moment we step into our student life, where we meet friends and start talking with them, we switch on television. Now this consciousness we get very quickly covered. And if we remain in that covered state for whole day, next day, by the time the next day morning comes, we have completely forgotten that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Our identification with as spirit soul gets covered very easily, very quickly. Hence we should remind ourselves daily. Now, without purifying our mind, if one try to give up duties prematurely, it will be considered irresponsible act, and we will not experience peace of mind. Without peace, how can there be happiness? So we should not become irresponsible. We should not become irresponsible. But it's not that. So without purification, so one should, wherever one should take up to the process of purification of internal consciousness by following four regulative principles, by chanting Hare Krishna, by reading Bhagavad Gita, and by serving in the association of devotees. This is such a simple process. But when this happens, One does not have to necessarily wear this saffron cloth. One can still attain the consciousness of that of a sadhu. One can become peaceful even in Grihastha ashram. One can become happy in Grihastha ashram. And for becoming peaceful and happy, one should not become irresponsible in our actions. So wherever we might be, uh, we should perform our duties in a very responsible way, but in a Krishna conscious way. But when we do that in Krishna conscious way, we are purifying our internal consciousness. Another example from the scriptures is that of Vishwamitra Muni, who was defeated many times in his endeavor to become Brahmarshi. He had a dream that he was a Kshatriya and he became Brahmana, and he wanted to become the greatest of the Brahmana, the Brahmarshi. Now, his path was also not easy. He was became envious of Vashishta Muni and Vashishta Rishi, and he created Trishunku Swargaloka. Whatever तप करके उन्होंने जो कुछ कमाया था वो सब खर्च करके उन्होंने त्रिशंकु स्वर्ग लोका बनाया, एंड ही could not enjoy that, and then he realized that he's wasted his punya, and then he went back to the meditation again, um, and this time Menaka came, and he got distracted by her beauty, by her and got attracted to her, united with her, and gave they had a they had a daughter named Shakuntala. Again, he realized some stage that his purpose of becoming Brahmarshi, greatest of the Brahmana, is been defeated. So again, he gave up that association, went back to forest and started meditating again. This time, Rambha came. Now, Vishwamitra did not fall prey to her temptation. Now, she was also extremely beautiful. She showered parijataka flowers on him for his pleasure. And but then he realized what's in her mind and became angry and cursed her, made her into a stone. But again, he lost all his piety. A sadhu should not become angry. So a sadhu is not tempted only. Sadhu is not tempted to act. So the moment he cursed Rambha, his piety was lost. Again, he had to go back to meditation. Now this time, by this time, Lord Ram appeared, and he became devotee of Lord Ram. Because of his love for Ram, he got his this attempt to become Brahmarshi was became successful. Now, because of his love for Ram, he was declared. He became instrumental in his. He played a huge part in this in the Ramayana pastime. Uh, took Lord Ram from Dasharath, took him to kill Taraka and many other demons, took him to Janakpuri and got him married to Mother Sita. So he played a huge role in Ramayana. He got opportunity to play a huge role in Ramayana, and also ultimately was declared as Brahmarshi by Vashishta Muni only. So so internal purification is critical, and that comes when you by that is invoked uh, by by devotional service, by loving devotional service to Lord Krishna. That easily. Prabhupada writes that in this world everyone is suffering because they have turned away from God. Srila Prabhupada went to America. Um, and he went there and he challenged the Americans. He challenged them, saying that you are the richest country in the planet, on this planet. You have tall buildings, big cars, roads, big cities, and best of all the material facilities that can be made available anywhere in the world. The best of technology, the latest technology, the comforts, the enjoyable, the whatever you can enjoy, the everything is available to the best of the quality, that of best of qualities in the America at that time also. But he said, still your youth is not happy. What are they doing? They're using your money to buy drugs. They're jumping off from the tall buildings that you have constructed and committing suicide. Why are they not happy? Reason they are not happy because you have turned away from God. Money and riches is Lakshmi. She is happy when remained at the feet of Narayana or Krishna, while you have trying to capture Lakshmi without Narayana, hence you cannot become happy. And then this is from the Radheshyam Prabhuji used this often. The ABCDEFG of Vedic culture. What is it? A. Accept absolute truth to be Lord Krishna. B. Accept Brahmanas to be the teachers of Vedic knowledge and seek knowledge from them, obviously. C is for cows. Cows to be worshipable. Cows are worshipable object, not to be killed and sold for money or food. D. Accept demigods as representatives of Supreme God Lord Krishna. E. Follow all Vaishnava etiquettes while dealing with different people. F. Flee to the feet of Lord Krishna whenever there is difficulty or danger. No other shelter. You should know no other shelter. You should only shelter you should have is that of Lord Krishna, and you should flee to the feet of Lord Krishna. You should. Yesterday also, Narottam Prabhuji explained beautifully that how we should, wherever we are in distress condition, our mind is distressed, mind is um, not happy or depressed, distressed, anxious, whatever it is, whatever the tricks that it generally play, if mind start playing that those tricks, you should remember Krishna. You should do some core Krishna conscious activity like taking darshan of Lord Krishna, describing beauty of Lord Krishna, reading some verses from Bhagavad Gita, reading some verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting of Hare Krishna, singing in the kirtan of Lord Krishna, just like we had a kirtan before the class. So these core activities will immediately, uh, take our mind away from the difficulty to the calmness, and then we are able to think through the situation and act accordingly, act properly. So flee to the feet of Lord Krishna wherever and whenever there is any difficulty or danger. No other shelter. And G, always live life in the mode of goodness. Don't fall down to the mode of passion and ignorance. So don't avoid live sattvic lifestyle. To have perfect knowledge, they have who is Nishkam Karma Yoga or Nishkam Karma Yogi. Nishkam Karma Yogi is the one who has perfect knowledge. What is the perfect knowledge? I'm not this body. I'm spirit soul. I'm part and parcel of Supreme Lord Krishna. What do I want to do? I want to render service unto Him for His pleasure. I will work in detached spirit, not wanting credit for good work. If any of that happens, I know it is Krishna given abilities, talent, and skills that are enabling me to do whatever I am doing in His service. Whatever I'm doing, what if I'm speaking, it is Krishna given ability. If I'm speaking, the 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 machinery using which I'm speaking is Krishna given. The material I'm speaking Krishna's words, so they have come from Krishna. The mind through which I'm thinking and making arrangement of word is also given by Krishna. The intelligence using which I'm trying to learn and reproduce, say to tell you all these things, that intelligence also comes from Krishna. My ability to speak comes from Krishna. My ability to be able to speak, I need to breathe. I can't stop my breathing for 2 hours. So my ability to breathe comes from Krishna. While so so the so the body using which I'm doing all of this also comes from Krishna. So the knowledge which I'm speaking also comes from Krishna. So the the microphone, the laptop, and the internet using which I'm communicating with you all also comes from Krishna. Unfortunately, we have discovered it. We have not created anything. So it is Krishna given ability, talent, skills that are enabling me to do whatever I'm doing in His service. So, where is the question of becoming proud, arrogant, and thinking that I am the doer? Where is the question of doership in this whole thing? Nishkam Karma Yogi, how does he think? How does he act? If you ask him, who are you? He'll say, I'm servant of God. What are you doing? I'm doing the work allotted to me by God. Now, all of us have different skills. Some are good in numbers, some are good with technology, some are good with administration, some are good with management, some are good with analysis, some are good with business, some are good with various people have different qualities. Somehow or the other, if nothing else, one is good in doing some physical activity, and I may earn my living through that. So whatever work is allotted to me by God, I am supposed to do that in a mood as I'm servant of God. How to do my work? How do I do my work? I work hard with sincerity, dedication to the best of my ability. That is my mood. I'm not lazy. As a devotee, devotees are not lazy people. Devotees are not avoiding work. Why? Because they work hard. They work even in devotional service. We have to work hard. Even if you become a full-time devotee, you have to work hard with sincerity, all dedication, and to the best of our ability. And what do you do with the results? I hand them over to God. I hand them over to Krishna. Nishkam Karma Yoga is the shift in our attitude from doership to divine. Eliminate the feeling that I did it and only can do it. We can't do anything on our own without God's sanction. There are many uncertainties in the world. Eliminate false ego and doership feeling while doing work and replace it with I am faithful servant of God. Don't take any credit for the work that has happened. Humbly surrender it to Krishna. Purification of heart. Now we said this will be the focus. So, world, how do we know that? Uh, how do we get rid of this doership? Now, doership comes. Now, we should know that the world is self-sufficient and will continue, and definitely can continue and will continue to operate forever, even without me. The world, I'm doing something in the world today. However, my doership is of no significance to the world. My doership only has importance from my own point of view. If I am doing something today, if I'm studying, I'm a student, I'm studying, I should be, my study does not benefit the world at all. My studies are meant for my own benefit. If I'm working, if I will not work, somebody else will come and do that work. Wherever I'm working in the office, I could be working in government organization, private sector, uh, wherever am I. Now, my work, I'm not unique. It's not that the world will stop existing if I stop working. World will come to a halt if I don't exist. None of this will happen. It has not happened in past. It will not happen in future also. So the world will continue to exist with me or without me, very much as it is right now today. So whatever I am doing, we need to do good work basically for helping ourselves to purify our heart. We have to work in such a way that it results in the purification of our heart to elevate us and revive our original pure nature. There was a king who thought of taking a vacation. He said, let me go out and stay in a matha. I'll just do bhajan, kirtan, listen to the katha. I'll need a break. जैसे हमको भी break चाहिए होता है बहुत काम करने के बाद. We feel we should take a break, not do anything. So I'll also not do any किंगली ड्यूटीज, मैं छुट्टी पे चला जाता हूँ. मेरा लड़का है बड़ा, 20-25 साल का लड़का है, तो आई विल आस्क हिम टू लुक आफ्टर द किंगडम एंड आई विल टेक अ नाइस ब्रेक एंड आई विल कम बैक लेटर. Now he goes for a break, and then seeing king away, the enemy, the neighboring king's army, and they attack. Now the king is the prince is already there, and the prince makes sure that he assembles his army properly, and then goes out and fight the war and wins the battle. So when this when the king heard that enemy soldiers are attacking, he immediately gets up and says, "Oh, I must go back. My enemies are attacking me. The young prince doesn't know anything. Let me go and take control." The Matha guru says that, "No, no, stay for. Let's see how it happens, how he handles it." Then he handles it well, and then he wins the battle. He comes back to the kingdom. Everyone is praising this young prince. Now this king is still restless. He says, "I must go now. I must go. I must do something. I must now. The war is over. Let me go and take control of my kingdom." Then the Matha Adhikari says, "No, no, let's see. Let's wait for more days." And here everyone start praising the prince. They all want him to become the king, next king. And people, the king who is to consider himself as indispensable, suddenly find himself sitting in the matha doing nothing, and the world has moved on. Now the the people have forgotten him. People want this prince to become his own son to become king. So they're not interested. They're not even lamenting for the absence of this king. And the Matha Guru says that, see, this is the nature of your shape. So this your if you remain caught up in the doership, you will never be able to properly renounce. So realize, learn that nothing is yours. Everything can function without you. And hence, you should not be attached to things. Another beautiful example Maharaj gives is that of a farmer. A farmer once was complaining to God that I have to work so hard. कितना डिफिकल्टी है, मैं सुसाइड कर लूंगा, ये कर लूंगा, वो कर लूंगा. The God came to him saying that क्या प्रॉब्लम है तुमको? There's so much problem. This. Fast farmer start giving lambi list of problems that he's facing in farming business. And then the God says, okay, you have problems. So tell me something. Who gave you seed? Who gave you seed? He said, you God. सीड आता कहाँ से? झाड़ से आता है. झाड़ कैसे आते हैं? भगवान के कृपा से आते हैं. सो सीड में जो पोटेंसी होती है जर्मिनेट करने की, वो कहाँ से आई है? तो बोलते हैं, यू गेव इट. नॉट ऑल सीड्स फ्रुक्टिफाई. हम 100 सीड्स, 100 बीज लगाएंगे तो नॉट 100 plants will come. Some bee will be dead bee, and which will not get converted into plant. So this potency in each seed to germinate comes from Krishna. बोले, आप जो खेती कर रहे हो, वो अर्थ किसकी है? बोले, आपकी है, भगवान. बारिश कौन देता है? आप देते हो, भगवान. तो सब कुछ मैं कर रहा हूँ. सनलाइट कौन देता है? आप देते हो. मूनलाइट कौन देता है? आप देते हो. हवा कौन लगा रहा है, चला रहा है? आप कर रहे हो. तो भगवान बोलते हैं कि सब कुछ अगर मैं कर रहा हूँ, तो व्हाट आर यू डूइंग? And why are you getting tired? Are you just getting tired for putting seed under the earth? For that one small action, you are getting tired, and rest, everything is done by me. And that for that also you are complaining that you are getting tired. So we should. This is again just to reiterate that our role is important, but not all that is important. We have a very small role in the large scheme of things of God. So our existence only matters to our own self. So we should utilize it for our own purification. We may feel today that our family is dependent on us, our nation is dependent on us. Nation wants me, My family wants me, my office wants me, my society wants me, my friends wants me, my relatives dependent on me, everything is, जब मैं आता हूँ तभी चीजें होती है. आई एम द डूअर, आई एम, मेरे, मैं नहीं हूँ, एक दिन में नहीं रहूंगा तो सब कुछ चौपट हो जाएगा. दिस एंड दैट एंड दिस एंड दैट, whatever the misconceptions today we might be carrying about our own self, we should all give it them up, because nothing is going to wait for me. Nothing is dependent on me. So, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm doing everything for my own purification. God is not dependent on me for running this world. We are given the opportunity to help others by God to improve ourselves. Krishna tells Arjuna, Nimitta Matra Bhava Savyasachi. So Krishna is a credit giving God, while everyone else is credit seeking tendency. I'm not dispensable. So we simply become instruments to help because of our willingness to do so. Even if we are not willing to become instrument, God has thousands and millions of other means to provide help to somebody if he so desires. So we may help someone and we may feel very proud कि मैंने किया है. But ये तो भगवान ने हमें यूज किया है. भगवान है हमें यूज किया है. He has used our desire. We were desirous of helping, and he has used our desire to actually help someone. If he wants to help, if God wants to help someone, he can find hundreds and thousands of ways and means in which he will help somebody. And when Krishna does not want to help somebody, he will, no matter how hard you try to help that person, you will not be able to help that person. Rakhe Krishna mare Krishna rakhe ke. So I'm not helping God or I'm not helping anybody else. Hence, my egocentric feeling of helping others should totally be eliminated. In fact, any help done by us should be forgotten as soon as possible. Any favor or facility that we receive from God should always be remembered. Unfortunately, we do the opposite. Now, any favor and facility we receive from God should always be remembered. We should always be thankful to God for that. But instead of being thankful, we forget that. So we should forgot if at all any help we have done, and we should always remember the favors that we have received, favors and facilities that we have received from others, including God. And we unfortunately do the opposite. So we'll summarize. Um, End of chapter 4, Krishna explains how knowledge is supreme and how it can lead to supreme peace, which can lead to uh, one become happy. But in the last verse, he asks Arjuna to fight. And in this, because of this uh, confusing instruction, Arjuna asks a question that exactly what you want me to do. And Krishna explaining is not renouncing of work, but renunciation in work. So continue to perform activities in the renounce mood. This renounce mood comes when we perform a devotional service. Fake renunciation is not allowed. The fake renunciation is not helpful. So it's not recommended. But a renunciation which is born out of loving devotion for Lord Krishna, that is what is expected. It's like Krishna Surya Sama Maya Andhakar, Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Mayara Adhikar. So this doorship, all this is Maya. And if you get sufficiently attached to Krishna, if you develop this loving attachment to Krishna, this doership will go away. The false doership, false renunciation, don't have to do any of that thing. All of that will all get corrected. This renunciation from the doership will automatically come if we get attached to Krishna. And to get attached to Krishna, we have to perform loving devotional service to Lord Krishna. Work must be performed for our purification using skills, talents, abilities, and facilities given by Krishna. And it should be offered to him as a service for his pleasure. By working in this mood, we can always remain peaceful and happy in each stage of life. If we if and of course the contrast is also true, that if we'll not work in this mood, we'll always remain disturbed and unhappy in each stage of our life. If we don't work in Krishna consciousness mood, then we will always remain unhappy and disturbed. We will always have a disturbed mind and unhappy. We'll always be unhappy in our life, in all stages of life. So this is how we will conclude today's session. We'll wait if we see if we have any questions. Yeah. How do we know whether we are genuinely detached or simply suppressing our desires? So this is a battle, Mataji, and happens at 4 level. And we can talk about meat eating, for example. Now, many of us probably were meat eaters before we came to Krishna consciousness. First thing we were told is basically 4 regulatory principles, which include, say, no meat eating. Okay. Now, it was not easy if we were meat eaters right from our childhood till date. Giving up meat eating would not have been easy for many of us. But because the instruction was there, we tried. We started avoiding meat eating. We probably might have had initially restricted it once a month, maybe once in 6 months, and eventually eliminated it. Now, it's not that the craving has gone completely from our heart. It's not that the attraction, the craving, the that has gone completely. It doesn't happen overnight. So when we but but so at the 4 stages initially, um, there is craving, there is a temptation, we fight and we lose. And that's how we said we may eat once in 6 months, we may eat once in month. When we get overly tempted, we eat. Otherwise, we are able to say no by and large. So there is a fight inside our mind with this temptation. There's a temptation and our mind, and there's a fight between the two. Uh, there's a knowledge and that we should not eat, and then there is a temptation that we should eat, and there is a battle between the two inside our mind. Sometimes this knowledge loses and this temptation overpower. So this happens at the initial stage where we may say that we remember that, oh, we once a month I give up. Um, Once couple of months in one, then that may happen once in couple of months, eventually once in 6 months, eventually once in a year somewhere, or and later we may stop that. Now then we've moved from one step to another stage. Now there is a knowledge and sadhana, and then there is this temptation. Now this battle happens, but I defeat, because every time I may get tempted, but I'm able to defeat. After this battle, I'm able to defeat my temptation. So my knowledge and my sadhana becomes victorious. Why? Because I have fed it. In the initial stage, when my sadhana and my knowledge is weak, I at times lose to this temptation. When I continue to perform my knowledge, cultivate my knowledge and continue to perform sadhana, now I am able to win over this temptation. The temptation may come to me, I may win over it, but because of my knowledge, because of my sadhana, I'm able to say no. Eventually, eventually this battle will become very easy. At this stage, this battle was not difficult at all. The temptation just came and overpowered the knowledge. Second stage, that's a battle is really intense, and my knowledge is battle is intense, and I might still be losing, but I'm losing after intense battle. So that's where the first is I'm practically eating once a week. Here I may eat once a month or once in 6 months. Then in the third stage, the battle, intense battle happens between temptation and my knowledge and sadhana, and my sadhana is able to win. Now this third stage, in when I'm, even though I'm tempted, I'm not able to, I don't give up for those temptations, I am able to win over those temptations. And in the fourth stage, where I'm effortlessly winning, the temptation only doesn't come, or temptation, even if it comes, I just blast it. I just, with effortlessly, I'm winning over the temptation because I have strengthened my sadhana and strengthened my knowledge. So, so the suppressing happens in stage one and stage two. This is necessary. This battle may, some people, for some battles may may go through all four stages. For some people, some battles, may get over in three steps only. When you are able to reach a stage where effortlessly you are winning every time, without any difficulty. So like that, every every temptation in our life will have a different battle, and some will be easy, some can be difficult for us. So at times it's a suppressing, it at time it is suppressing, but we suppress it because of higher knowledge. Just like we suppress child tendency to play when the child has exam on the next day, or we suppress our desires to watch movie, watch cricket match when we had important meetings or important exams on the following day. So even it's not that I stopped liking cricket, but I'm not watching cricket knowing that I have to study for the tomorrow's important exam, or tomorrow to prepare for tomorrow's important presentation, or to prepare for tomorrow's important interview, whatever my objective is. My, so even though the temptation is not gone, but I'm able to win over it with my superior knowledge, superior sadhana. Eventually these temptations will stop bothering me only, and a stage will come when I will effortlessly win over these temptations. So we might, for different temptations, we might be in different stages, and that's all right. It's a continuous battle. As we perform sadhana nicely, as we hear Bhagavad Gita nicely, as we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra nicely, as we visit, take devotee association nicely, uh, we will have this temptations will, it's like powering one person and not feeding the temptations. And obviously if you don't feed somebody, they will become weaker and weaker, and the one whom you are feeding will become stronger and stronger. So eventually, this weak tempting mind will stop bothering us completely. Okay. Yes, Vaishnavi Mataji, if you have a question.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Sir, actually, I mean, towards the end, you said that if some people they are coming to you for help, think that Krishna has sent them to you, and then you should not have the feeling that you have helped them. But then there are certain people, they will remember you only when they have some problem. You do help them, but when you are in trouble, they are nowhere there. But again, they come to you when they have problem, they come to you. So how to deal with such people? Should we help them again or what?
Yeah. So basically, ungrateful people, what should we do? So when we so if you carry the feeling that you help that person, so if you see, when you can go through the slides, once I circulate it, but the feeling of, if you help someone, you should forget it immediately.
Hmm.
If you
Yeah, okay.
forget that you have helped someone, you will
Hmm.
not, we may theoretically not forget, but it's not important. Why? What should be the mood? The mood is Krishna wanted that person to be helped at that time, and he made me an instrument in that.
Hmm.
But if Krishna wanted to help someone, I happen to be there at that time. Therefore, he utilized my helping ten mentality to execute that help.
Hmm.
But if I not been there, and if Krishna still wanted to help someone, would he not have helped that person?
He would have helped.
He would have helped. He would have found different ways and means to help that person.
Hmm.
If Krishna want to help, he will help anyhow, somehow. He will
Hmm.
figure out how to help. So,
Hmm.
but in this case, he made me an instrument. So, what is my role in that? So, I should just forget. Now, when I am in difficulty, should I be praying to that person who I helped in past, or should I be praying to Krishna? I should pray
I
to
should be
Krishna.
praying to Krishna.
Should be praying to Krishna. So, and if Krishna is sanctioning help for us,
Hmm.
it will come through this person, that person. It doesn't matter from where it comes, but if
Hmm.
it will come, and
Yes, it does come.
it
Yeah.
does come exactly. So it's the so so this clarify the doubt that you had. It may not come from that person. Now, the
Hmm.
last question is, if next time that same person is in difficulty, if I happen to be
Ah.
in the situation where I can help that person, should I help?
Hmm. Hmm.
So question is, yes, if you'll not help, somebody else may help. So it's up to us.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
we may, so we have to remember we are instrument. We are not the doer.
Okay.
So if we
Hmm.
carry this doership feeling कि ये मैं कर रहा
Hmm.
हूँ, कर रही हूँ,
Hmm.
then attach उसके साथ जो attach भाव है, that will also come to me. That ईश्वरीय भाव will also come to me. We feel as if
Okay.
we are the Ishvara. I am the doer.
Hmm.
That's Ishvara ham bhogi. So that mood comes, that Ishwariya bhav comes to us. And we have to
Hmm.
avoid getting into that mode.
Okay.
Okay. So if
Prabhuji.
you can
Thank you
help,
so much.
next time also you can help, and you should not expect
Okay.
anything back.
No, surely help. Now, I mean, we do help. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Let's see if there are any other questions. Prabhuji, any other questions in the chat box?
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Dandavat Pranam. One question is there from Neelu Mataji, Guruji. Should I read out, Guruji, or should we ask Mataji to?
She's there. She can ask. Yes, yes.
Neelu Mandanya Mataji, can you just kindly unmute and just ask your question directly to from Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
In my life, I've seen many times where I've stuck and where I've got the difficulty. I've seen Krishna has helped me a lot. I've experienced that thing in my life. So, Prabhuji, I'm very gratitude to Krishna. I want to give more thanks and gratitude to Krishna. What more should I do for him?
So, it depends on which stage of life we are. We discussed three stages broadly: a student stage, a grahastha stage, and a, a stage where we are in 60s, like vruddhatva stage. And in different stages, we can do different things. According to our nature, and according to our inclinations, and according to our capacity. And we can probably have a separate discussion for this, but typically, if different, we see different grahasthas also accept. So typically, some tangible service can be taken up, apart from charity, apart from giving normal regular donations, doing our japa, uh, doing our sadhana, visiting temple. These are basic things that we all are expected to do. But apart from that, also, if time permits, we can do some tangible services for Krishna, for propagating Krishna consciousness. It could include, say, book distribution. It could include utilizing our skills for the benefit of Krishna, for the service of Krishna, using our talents in the service of Krishna. And all of that can be done thanks to COVID and post-COVID, this digital revolution which has happened. We can do it even if, could be sitting in our home and wherever it might be in India or wherever in the world, but we can do it in that way. So by playing our part in a tangible way, we can we can take our Krishna consciousness to a different level. This is where your it's like people, when they dance, they become happy. But happy people also wants to express their happiness through dancing. So it's like sharing. They want to share. They want to share. So if you are happy, you will want that happiness to be shared with others through
Mm.
through these services, the tangible services. Um, you're sharing your happiness with others, and in the process, you're increasing your own happiness.
Mm.
So that kind of a uh, seva you can take, some tangible seva you can take, and uh, that tangible means just like office, where we are accountable for some results. Currently, we are not accountable for any results. Even if you don't chant for next 5 days, your boss is this is not part of your KRA if you happen to be working professional. So you're not going to ask why the japa scores are so low. So कोई business statistic भी track नहीं हो रहा है कि sales are down, japa is down, क्या हो रहा है? Nobody's. So we are only accountable to ourselves and Krishna, and to the devotees who are we who we consider to be our mentors. We are accountable. We should be accountable to them, and through them we become accountable to Krishna. Otherwise, we can, and then we should also accept some tangible services from them.
Mm.
That way we contribute more and we relish more. By doing more, we relish more.
Mm. So the
So,
Prabhuji was service which we are doing, in which service we feel happy, like whatever service we are doing, we are happy in doing that service. So it is to that accountable to Krishna then.
yes, like chanting is also service, and if you are becoming happy in chanting, that's also service. It's a service to Krishna, and that way Krishna can become happy, and
Mm.
there we can become fixed up in our japa. We can become like, we can minimum we should chant 16 rounds, and with minimum we should read scriptures daily once,
Mm.
at least sometimes. And so this is basic sadhana that is recommended for
Mm.
all devotees. I'm saying a level below, above this, is taking up some tangible services for Krishna.
Okay.
Now this is also tangible because you're counting.
Mm.
Okay, you're counting 16 rounds, you're doing 18, 20 rounds, whatever. But this is
Mm.
still for personal purification and personal benefit. Of course,
Mm.
it is pleasing to Krishna that you're taking this accountability for yourself. You're doing it for taking up this doing this sacrifice. You could have done anything in this last 2 hours, but you are choosing to listen to Bhagavad Gita. You're choosing to do japa.
Mm.
So that is definitely Krishna gets satisfaction. He feels happy by seeing you do this. A level above this is when you uh, try to share this with others, or try to do some tangible seva
Yes.
for the
Mm.
propagation of Krishna consciousness, so that it reaches more people, like that. Okay,
Okay.
so we can discuss sometime during this week what else you can do, given your abilities, your talents, your interest, your inclinations, and we can hopefully have you engage in some of those additional services if time permits, or your inclination permits. Then you can be that way, engage more, and perform more seva.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes. So thank you everyone for joining today, and hope all of you have a very wonderful Krishna conscious week ahead. Join Japa session every day as much as you can. Join chat reading sessions in the evening every day as much as you can. Read on your own, chant on your own as well during the day. Remember Krishna every day. Remember that whoever we are, whatever we are doing, whatever abilities we have, all have come from Krishna, and we'll discuss those during the course of subsequent chapters discussion also. And for that we can always remain grateful to Krishna. So like Nilu Mataji said, I'm I'm feeling very, very grateful to Krishna. So whatever he's given us life, for that we should be grateful. He has given us abilities, for that we should be grateful. He's given us nice upbringing, for that we should be grateful. So always look for the positive aspects in our life and be express your gratitude towards Krishna for that. And that way we can remain happy, we can remain Krishna conscious during our life. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. We'll meet next Sunday with another topic from Bhagavad Gita. Till then, have a great Krishna conscious week ahead. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai,
Thank you,
Srila
Prabhuji.
Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Krishna,
Bhagavad
Krishna,
Gita,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
Dhanapranam.
Thank you, Lord.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
Pranam.
Prabhuji. Dhanapranam. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.